Jagger out there, literally strutting his stuff like he did back in the fucking 80s still. But did you know he literally has two trucks and trailers that travel with him that just have gym equipment in them?
I can believe that.
Like he still is working out every day on tour.
Yeah, on the road, at home,
It
doesn't
just shows
matter.
that like as you get older, if you keep up with like working out and like actually working your muscles and stuff, you'll be around a lot longer than you would if you didn't.
Dude, it makes me wonder, like, does Keith Richards do that shit with them? Because, like,
No,
he's
he
lived a
just
life, dude.
he just does cocaine, bro.
Yeah, but he can still do it better than Joe Biden.
He just does cocaine, bro. That's what he does.
Shit. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we should be kicking off this podcast. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think that's a great way to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shedtime podcast in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shedtime podcast, and it's going to be a lit one if that's how we're kicking off today. And I'm all for it because we are heading into Labor Day weekend. The boys are going to be going off on a road trip, going to hang out with the homies over at Steel Valley Vapors.
Yeah,
and I'm hella jelly, but
I'm so pumped, bro.
My time is coming.
So pumped.
I'm just I'm actually pulling myself back, James, until I get there and I have the car. Then I'm like, okay, now I can like get.
Nah, dude, I'm counting my chickens already, bro. I don't give a fuck. I am so ready for this upcoming weekend, bro. You have no idea. I've been like counting down the days. Every day I go to work, I'm like, oh fuck, one more day closer to the trip. I've only got three and a half days of work this week, which is going to be awesome. So work full day Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, half day Thursday, hop on the plane. I'm out of here, bro. So like, nice. I'm literally going to start packing my bag like tonight into like tomorrow. So it's literally ready to go. So I literally come home, jump in the shower, grab my bag, and I'm out.
I'm just like, I think for me, because you've known you're going for a long time, and I've only known that I've been going for about a week for real. So like I'm still like, is it actually happening?
It's happening, bro. It's happening, Chris.
You know what I mean? Because like, dude, I haven't even been waiting for this car for that long. Like since it's been almost 5 months I've been waiting for this car.
That's a while, bro.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty long time. I guess
most people when they get a new car, they go to the dealership and get the car that day. You know, they don't wait 5 to 6 months to get the vehicle that they purchased, bro. You know
what's the deal with that though? Like, why did it take this long?
Because basically, like, now fuck it. I'm gonna go like my real feelings because there's just a bunch of people that don't give a fuck and want to drive automatics. That's why. Like, there's a bunch of people that are like, nah, I don't want to drive a car the way that it was originally designed. I want to just like make it easy. I don't want to fuck around. I drive in traffic, all this stuff. That's why, because nobody wants manuals, so they don't actually order any. Like nobody orders any.
So you had to like custom no order a manual transmission vehicle.
Exactly. That's what it is. I should have led with that. You have to custom order it because they don't ever order them because nobody drives them and nobody wants them.
On one hand, I'm not surprised because like unless it's like a bigger truck, I think you're right. There's no point. Nobody wants them. If you're buying a car, I think the vast majority of people I've talked to are totally satisfied with an automatic transmission. I think the only time I see people give a damn about having a manual is in a big like pickup truck type of thing, a 4x4.
I don't even think it's so much that. Sorry for the coughing there. That was a mean dab. But I think it's honestly most people that drive sedans don't want to have to fucking worry about shifting gears and shit like that because, like Chris said, they sit in traffic, they commute, that sort of thing. So they're like, I don't want to have to sit there on the fucking clutch all the time or whatever. But then you also have people that are like Chris, who are more car enthusiasts, who actually enjoy the ins and outs of a manual transmission and the feel and the actual, you're one with the car sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's where you get the people that drive like your sports cars and your muscle cars or your fucking tuned up fucking Civics and that sort of shit. Those are the guys that are going to be into that manual transmission because they want to feel like they are driving the car, not the car driving them.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're absolutely right.
Right?
Like,
did I get that right, Chris? I feel like I pretty much.
Yeah, well, I think that like another reason why I used to prefer manuals too, but it's like really not the case anymore. I'm not gonna like die on that hill and say, oh man, it's true still to this day. But back, dude, like back in the 90s, like all the 90s cars and shit, like you gotta remember, those were like the cars that I was buying when I was like my early 20s. It would be like if I got a newerish car, it would be from the 90s, right? And all those, dude, they had like 3-speed automatics and shit back then. Like you'd be lucky if you had a 4-speed automatic car. So they would be just gutless because they had low power and you couldn't even manipulate anything because there was fucking 3 gears. So back then it made sense. If you had like a manual, like you'd actually have like a quicker car. But I just for whatever reason, man, I just like being responsible. I like the fact that traditionally speaking, you get better fuel economy with a manual transmission. I like that there's less things to go wrong with a manual transmission than an automatic one. It's like there's just like a bunch of things, and like you also have to pay more money for an automatic. So that's like another reason I'm like, yo, they want $1,000 for an automatic. Like, what? I would have paid $1,000 for a manual.
well, the other thing to me is that like you get way more power out of your engine, even if we're talking 5-speed automatic to 5-speed manual, right?
Well, yeah, you're
Strictly on
able
the
to
fact that
you can get up to higher RPMs.
Exactly. You can
Well, you're no
control
longer
that
relying on the
tach.
computer, right? Yeah. If you could change your shift points in an automatic, then maybe it would be something closer. Like then that's what I mean. Like
That's
if you
where
have a
the
really
fucking
dialed in auto,
the little
like
Steptronic or whatever fucking systems that they put in there now, where you got the little fucking pedals, or you fucking pop your automatic over into the little mode, and then you can literally
you can
shift
like
it yourself.
Yeah.
The only
But
problem
that's
with
only
that,
been recently.
But I also don't know how like instantaneous that is. I wonder if it shifts as well like that as when it's just regularly driving and drive.
I have that style.
I'll tell you what, I use
my
it, bro, and it makes a difference.
Yeah, like you can.
And I have multiple modes too. Like I've got a normal mode, I've got a sports mode I could put my car into, and like that. And if I put into that sports mode and then tap my fucking shifter over and shift it myself, dude, that thing's got a little bit of some fucking get up and go. I was actually surprised. Yeah. I was like, it's not like fucking, oh my God, dude, I'm gonna be fucking burning people on the fucking strip or something. But like, it's like, I was like, oh, dude, like, yeah, I'm making it up this hill way faster now. You know what I mean?
And not only that, but like the one downside to that is that like it doesn't learn your shifting habits quickly.
Mine does, because it's got like a smart thing to where like I can set it and it like literally just records data and fucking like adapts to my driving style. But I never use it.
Because like to me, like mine does it, but it took like a solid year of using that manual shift mode to get it to start shifting at slightly higher RPMs. So, I mean, obviously my car's a 2004, and at the time it having that kind of a transmission was cutting edge. So what do I expect from that? But you're absolutely right, Chris. Like the fact that you had to like go that far out of your way just to be able to get your hands on a manual transmission is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and dude, like honestly, I think like this is kind of cool, even though it's not what I wanted. So it's funny because just like a quick little backstory. I've always like wanted like a brand new black car. I don't know why. I never like I owned a couple black cars. Actually, I owned one black car. Yeah, one black car. And I was like, oh, I always wanted a black brand new car, you know. And I got a 2009 brand new car, got a gray. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a black car. I'm gonna get a black cruise. And so then I fucking go in and I test drove like this cyber gray metallic, and then I was like, "Yo, this color is fresh, dude." It was like gray, but in the sun it would like have blue tinges and silvers. Like it was a really cool paint, and so I bought that. So then this time I was like, "Yo, order a goddamn black car." Like, what are you doing? So I ordered a black car, and they sent me a message like maybe 3 weeks later, and they're like, "Hey, here's the deal. There's a car coming, manual. We can get it for you. It's like everything you want, but it's a different color." And I was like, yo, what the fuck? And so they're like, it's white. And I was like, I never owned a white car ever. I'm like, I'm actually kind of excited about the white car, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I'm just kind of excited about the white car because I've never had it. But I'm like 0 for 3 now getting a black car when I'm like, I'm gonna order a black car, I'm gonna get a black car, and like, end up not getting a black car.
I'll tell you what, though, you and I both know what it's like to look at salt buildup in the wintertime on the side of your car.
Well, it's
It's not
black, it's
gonna
pretty bad.
show. It's not gonna show as bad on a white car, so that's a huge win.
Well, that's
That
one
is
thing
that
about
is
white
true.
cars is they do look cleaner than any other vehicle. Like black shows dust and dirt and shit so quick.
It's gonna reflect the heat
Like
of the
especially
sun
like out
too.
here where I'm at, bro. If you've got a black car, bro, if you're not washing it every day, it just looks dirty.
Yeah, it doesn't even really look black. It's just like,
Yeah, because there's always like a slight film of dust from just a slight breeze. Because you're in the desert, dude. All that's around is dirt. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's in the air. Dust is a big thing out here. So it's just like I've always wanted a black car too, but I'm like, fuck, I don't want to have to wash that shit all the time. And I've had all kinds of different colors cars. I've had blue, I've had charcoal gray, I've had like this graphite gray that's on my fucking Kia. I've had a red car, a green car. I've actually had a couple gray cars now that I think about it. My Silverado was like a gray color. My Veloster was like a silver, actually. It was like more of like a whitish silver color. And then this one's like that graphite, like charcoal gray color.
It's funny, like
I've had a lot
the
of
whole
cars.
car thing these days is crazy, right? Because like we're starting to look at getting a new car in my household. My wife's actually able to purchase one from a family friend recently. Um, and thank God that family friend is just, an act of kindness. It's a car that we don't need anymore. So, we'll give it to you for $1,000. Cause like you can't get a car for $1,000 anymore. At least not one that doesn't need a couple $1,000 worth of work.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, that's
you
true.
know and this car is like almost pristine, so like it's crazy to think about how much that shit has changed, because like when I got my car, uh, we'll say almost 10 years ago now, uh that thing was a $4,000 car, and I mean it's served me well. That same car now, for what conditions it was in when I got it, would be like an $8,000 car now.
That's
Like,
crazy, bro. The used car market's actually pretty booming right now.
it's insane. Like I'm very fortunate to work for a dealership now. So I have employee pricing options, which is really, really cool. But even more so is that I have the ability to get the trade-ins before they put them out there. And because of what I do, I work for the division that does cop cars and DPW vehicles and stuff. I have the ability to grab one of these trade-in cop cars for dirt cheap. So I'm fingers crossed that I can score one of the F-150s when they get traded in, because that would be clutch.
Dude, that'd be pretty dope. I could see you driving an F-152 for real.
Dude, it's a great truck. Like,
Dude,
they're-
I want a truck again so bad, but dude, out here that's too expensive to drive, bro.
it's gonna be expensive as hell to drive here. Thankfully, I work so close to home.
Well, even then, dude, it's just like I'd be still be spending twice as much in gas. Just
Yeah,
to
how much
drive
does gas
fucking-
cost in your area, Sean?
It's like $5 a gallon out here right now.
Oh, I'm what are we doing right now? I think we're high threes. I don't think
Yeah,
we've
dude.
broke 4.
Yo, that's so cheap, man. You know how much it
Like-
is here?
Dude, I don't know when the
It's
last time I
one-
saw a 3 in front of fucking some decimals. You know what I mean?
Dude, James, here it's 189.9 per liter.
I don't
So
know conversions, bro. So that doesn't mean.
let me
anything
hear.
to
Let me do like some like
me.
real quick math here.
My brain's not working right now, bro.
Yeah,
I'm down
my-
on some papaya dosi dough right now, and
Yeah, I'm
math
surprised
ain't,
that I have the
math ain't
ambition to do
happening,
this.
bro.
Current average price for a gallon of gas in Massachusetts for regular is $3.76 a gallon. We're talking $4.27 for mid, $4.60 for premium, and $4.37 for diesel.
Okay. Now I'm how do I do the Canadian into American? I think I times it by 0.71, 0.72. Let's see. Yeah, it's like $5.21 right now. US here.
Damn. So I'm pretty fortunate right now that I'm not at even $4 a gallon for regular yet here in Mass.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I just saw parts of Florida are like $7 a gallon right now.
Dude, the cheapest gas is out here, like just in my city, is $4.89 a gallon.
Wow.
The most
Yeah.
expensive is $5.39.
5.39. That's a massive difference between the cheapest and the most expensive. Damn.
Well, that's what you get if you go from like a mom and pop gas station to like a Chevron.
Okay, true.
Yeah. I used to manage gas stations.
I usually tend to go to the mom and pop ones a lot of times because their prices are like $1 cheaper half the time.
and you should, honestly. In most states, you have regulations on the fuel, in which case, at least, and this is mostly in the United States. I can't really speak to Canada, but I would imagine Canada is probably similar. But there are probably regulations state by state, province by province, that regulate things like fuel additives and fuel quality. So then at that rate, it's about your buying time and your buying power. So what the big corporations do, the Chevrons, the Mobiles, stuff like that, is they buy large quantities across the board and then they average out the price over the course of, say, a week or 2 weeks. And that's what they charge the consumer. The mom and pop, on the other hand, they basically play the gas market. So they watch and try to buy at the lowest price they can in order to turn around and sell it for the lowest price that they can. Because at the end of the day, gas stations don't make money on selling you the gas. They make the money on all the ancillary services and products inside the convenience stores.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The market is just so fucking competitive for gasoline that it's not the profitable piece of your business. It's just the necessary evil.
And
And
it's crazy because they're popping up all over the place out here.
well, it's an easy
Dude, when are
business
we
to
gonna
run.
start seeing fucking Tesla stations pop up everywhere? I was pretty sure that like by like a certain
Well,
year,
dude, that's the
you're
thing
supposed
that
to be able to drive
fucking.
all over North America and
Well,
not have
that's
to be able to fucking pay for gas.
that's the thing that cracks me up is California's got this whole thing by like 20 something, 20 like 35 or 20 whatever, some year they picked up. I can't remember off the top of my head. They want to be they're gonna stop selling combustion engines, and it's just gonna be electric sort of thing. And it's like, okay, well, where are all these charging stations? And they tell us that you can't charge your car you have to stop charging your car because fucking energy peaks during summertime. So it's like, okay, you're gonna get rid of all the natural or your
All the
combustion,
gasoline,
yeah,
yeah.
gasoline engines, and everybody's only gonna have electric. But yet there's times of the year where we can't fucking run our fucking washing machines or dryers and all this other shit, and probably not gonna be able to charge our cars. So yeah, that makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the fucking the infrastructure for this electric vehicle system that you want to fucking go? Because it ain't there.
That's
obviously,
it, man. Like, look at what happened in Dallas when they had that winter blizzard and their whole electric infrastructure couldn't handle it. Like, this happens all over the country. Like, our country can't handle peak electric usage in a lot of municipalities. And the problem is the way the power grid works, they're all basically interconnected. So all it takes is 1 or 2 or 3 certain, key municipalities to fail, and the whole fucking grid goes down. Because there's not enough pathways for the rest of them to continue to communicate. So, like,
you know what we need to do, bro, is we need to go back and start doing some more research into Tesla, bro. You know what I mean? The OG
Yes.
Tesla, the guy that, you know what I mean? Because there was a city that this man powered through without any cables or anything, from what I understand. I don't remember exactly, but
So
I need to do some.
it's funny you bring this up because I've been watching a lot of stuff on Tesla lately. He never fully got to achieve that, but he tried. His plan was to attempt to power the entire city of New York through the Wardenclyffe Tower. Unfortunately, as some people know, his funding was cut and he was unable to continue his research in the manner he was attempting to, due to the fact that his funding came from JP Morgan. JP Morgan got a lot of money from a lot of other industries that in turn would have been harmed by Tesla's plans to create free renewable energy. I will say this. It works. There's a story where Tesla had done an experiment where he had set up his Tesla coil in the middle of a field. He'd walked through the field and stuck light bulbs into the ground at various points.
Yeah, that's what okay, so it wasn't the city, but he did that. That's what I remember.
And when he powered the coil, the light bulbs lit up. And the really cool thing is that here we are in modern day. People have attempted this experiment and replicated the results. So it does work. It's 100% true. It can be done. But the problem is that when Tesla died, he died in a hotel room in New York, the New Yorker Hotel. When he died, it was said that he had some 80 trunks of research in his hotel room. Only 60 of those trunks have been recovered and recorded as recovered. 20 of those trunks are missing.
Conspiracy time.
So
who said that they did something off of his shit?
Well, so here's the thing. These 20 trunks are missing. We don't know where they are. We do know that those 60 trunks that did get found and were recorded as having been searched, one of the people who was in charge of the search of of all the documents and research inside was a man by the name of Fred Trump. Should have been Donald Trump's grandfather.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
So
what?
So he oversaw the endeavors of the US government to go over all of this paperwork. They deemed these 60 trunks had nothing of real value, and they were put in some point of storage and lost for a long, long time, presumed possibly even lost right now still. But meanwhile, there's still a reported 20 trunks that were never found. It is believed by conspiracy that the government kept those 20 trunks worth of research because it pertained to things that they either wanted to use or wanted to hide. There is also speculation that Tesla had worked for the US government already, and that some of his research he had been doing had already been going to the US government to be used for various military technological applications. Tesla's death ray technology can actually be seen being referenced in the Star Wars program, the laser defense satellite program that the United States government launched back in the Reagan administration, I think it was. So there is some evidence that would back up that claim for those people.
When did like Tesla live? Like what was his
Late
what's his lifetime?
late 1800s, like 1890s through the early 1900s.
Oh, so he died as like a younger man.
I can't remember the exact date of his death. We'd have to Google that, which we
All
can
right,
do
I'll
that
look,
right
I'll look,
now.
I'll look. Yeah, no, I'll look. You can go ahead.
But yeah, very interesting. If people want to, see some of what I'm talking about, I was watching the series from History Channel, the Tesla Files, where they were researching.
Yeah, there was something else
all
that
of
I
this.
seen too. That was like a reenactment of Tesla and like his experiments. I don't remember what it was called. I seen it like a few years ago. But it was really good and like really in depth.
Born
He was born
1856 to
56.
1943.
So he actually
Wow.
lived a long time.
Yeah, very old man.
Yeah, he's a pretty fucking old dude.
Some
87?
speculate that during the time he was living in the hotel in the New Yorker, that the New Yorker hotel was actually his new Wardenclyffe Tower. In that series, one of the interesting things they pointed out is that particular hotel has a retired generator system inside that produces an excessive amount of power, way more than the hotel would ever need to power anything and everything ever. And so it's speculated that it's quite possible that Tesla was conducting secret experiments there within that hotel, utilizing that level of power station it had.
Crazy, dude.
He claimed
Dude, some people are just like just tapped in. They're tapped into like whatever that next level shit is.
Well, dude, I
You know
just
what I mean?
like just speaking on all this has just got me kind of like thinking because I went and saw Oppenheimer yesterday. It's about the whole Manhattan Project and the dropping of the atomic bomb and all that. And dude, just like seeing who all was involved in that and just like the fucking way that like that shit all went down was fucking pretty intense, dude.
Oppenheimer's a really interesting scientific figure in history.
Yeah, dude. Because like obviously makes me want to look more into it and just like learn more about it and stuff like that. Just because it's piqued my curiosity. Because like the dude he was a interesting dude, man, and like the way that like the whole shit went down is pretty intense. But like,
Oh, is that like kind of got some level of a true story to it or something?
yeah, it's based off of the true story of Robert Oppenheimer, the guy who headed the Manhattan Project. It's like based off that like whole. So it's pretty much. I'm sure
he's the father of the A bomb, technically.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Oppenheimer is that when we think about scientists, right, we often think about them in this sense of like the scientist always being right. Oppenheimer proves that sometimes being a good scientist is often being wrong, because a lot of his discoveries came from him having an idea, testing the hypothesis, and finding out his hypothesis was wrong, but in turn, creating a new discovery.
Just the way he looked at things was way different than like your
100%.
average scientist at the time. I feel like, because like his mind worked in a weird way, I feel. And
I think I'd say you're
because
right.
like, dude, like people, when we think of people like crazy scientists who help like discover crazy shit, we always think of like Tesla, Einstein, and that sort of thing. Like this dude got mad respect from Einstein, bro. You know what I mean? Like they were colleagues, you know what I mean? Even though like Einstein was much older than he was, like it's crazy, dude, because like they had spoke and like at certain times throughout like the whole thing, and it just like the little bits that they put in the movie were interesting to hear, just like the back and forth. But it just makes me more curious to know like what actually may have happened or may have been said in those times, or like just the connections between the different people. And because dude, like it's fucking crazy, bro, because like there's points while he's developing this bomb, you know what I mean, like when he first realizes that it can happen, he's like, you know what this means. And then it's like it's a bomb, and it was pretty much that was like the beginning of like the arms race between like all the different countries to see who's going to develop it first to hopefully stop anybody else from doing it, because now it's like, yo, we have this, so if you're trying to do this, this is what's going to happen, sort of thing. And him kind of realizing in the midst of all of it that this is something that is going to change the world forever, and it's not necessarily in a good way, sort of thing. And him having second thoughts about what he was doing, you know what I mean, because he literally gave the world a way to destroy itself, you know what I mean.
Yeah, here's
what,
the
like, this-
But
process.
also he also is making one of the biggest advances in science history ever. So it's like he's got that fucking battle within himself to do I want to actually go through with this, or is this some like that moral dilemma sort of thing. And that's
100%. Well, because without his team, we also wouldn't have been able to have the advancements in nuclear energy.
yeah.
Well, no, but I even just think about it like this, right? Like, we know how that history played out.
Yep.
Shit got nuked, no doubt, right?
Yeah.
But like, we have no idea if he did not do it. We have no idea like what would have happened if another country was the first one to have a nuke and what they would have done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
And that was
Like,
pretty much his
they
that
could
was
have
his
nuked the entire North America.
that was
dude. Like,
pretty
we
much
could,
like
none of us could exist.
that's pretty much like kind of like what happened. Like he just like realized, he's like, just to think what would happen if we were do it, but think what were to happen if the Nazis were to do it
Exactly.
first.
Yeah,
like
dude,
what,
or Japan for that matter,
Yeah.
right? Like,
and it's
if
like they
Japan had
wouldn't
just nuked Pearl Harbor and nuked Washington or whatever. Like,
and like the place, like they strategically picked. And dude, there's a part in that, like it's kind of a spoiler sort of thing, but like it was just interesting. Maybe I should save it and I could tell you guys after. But
yeah.
there's like there was just a line in like the movie that I just thought was like, why is this even in there? But maybe that's something that actually happened, and if so, that's fucking crazy. But dude, it was just an interesting look into the past and like how that all went down, and just the thought processes between the scientists, the government, the military, and like everything that was involved in like what was happening in these other countries at the same time, and how far they were in the process of developing some sort of weapon of mass destruction or whatever you want to call it. It's just, dude, it's intense. But it was a good movie, man. I highly recommend, if you're into like history and like that sort of thing, I would recommend checking it out. It was pretty dope.
It definitely is one that I have.
I think you would dig it,
in.
Sean.
Yeah,
you would really dig it, bro.
I'm a history nerd like you are, and that kind of thing really does pique my interest. I've watched a couple of documentaries because of it on Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
Like that's why I know some of the weird facts I know about it.
That's what I kind of want to do now. Is I'm doing the opposite. I seen the movie, now I'm gonna dive in. You dove in, and then you just
Yeah,
do the movie. So
there's some cool content out there that is really insightful and interesting. Um, it's mind-boggling to me that some of these minds even exist, right? Because like even today, like we can argue back and forth, is Elon Musk a genius, right? I, I want to completely ignore him. There are actual factual genius scientists working behind the scenes whose names we don't know, you know what I mean, who are literally doing amazing breakthrough things, like the people at CERN creating black holes under a controlled, you know, experiment. That's insanely incredible that those things are actually happening, that we're proving that you can bend space-time in a laboratory setting.
dude, you know what's crazy that I kind of learned the other day too? It was about like, how people used to actually read the stars back in the day. It's not that they were actually reading the stars, they're reading the dark patches between the stars, aka, like different galaxy sort of situation. So it's like that's why a lot of the constellations, they're not so much, the shapes, it's more the space in between the shape sort of thing, which is crazy.
Well, it's
Because the stars, the stars, they'll move at a certain point through their rotations and that, but those dark spaces are pretty consistent. As when maybe I might be speaking out of my ass here, but
well, so it's interesting that you bring that up because recently, and this might be part of what you might be referencing. Recently, scientists have been able to create the oldest picture of time ever. And what they mean by that is through using the space telescopes and all of that and reading the radio waves, and I can't remember all the science that was involved. They were able to record what the energy of space looked like before the existence of any galaxies. So when we had the Big Bang prior to or post Big Bang, the massive energy from that, they were able to photograph and map that in, whatever scientific manner. And doing so, what they had to do was record the dark space that is space, because that is the remaining energy that hasn't formed into matter, stars, planets, etc.
yeah, it's almost like a fucking gas. They're like gas pockets.
Yeah, that void is everything before time and space truly existed in its form that we recognize.
Dude, I just think it's hilarious that somehow we always kind of come back to like space and aliens and things because dude, it's got me thinking, you know what I mean? Like if that were to be true, dude, who's to say that our Big Bang that we reference is the first one to have happened?
Well, I guess
dude, who's to say that at all?
You know
now,
what I mean?
It could have already happened before.
Now we're getting into an interesting concept, because I suppose at this stage now, it really does depend on an individual's perspective on this question, right?
Yeah.
When you think of the Big Bang, are you considering it the moment that all energy exploded from a pinpoint into, infinite expansiveness? Or are you considering each Big Bang from a perspective of a universe in like maybe a multiverse scenario?
That's kind of where I was getting at.
And yeah, that's such an interesting concept I haven't considered. And I like that thought, Because
Well, that thought got peaked in my mind the other day because obviously, again, I was listening to Rogan and he had this astrophysicist on, or not, maybe not I don't know. He's a guy that really like studies like stars and shit like that. Um, I don't remember what the term is. Maybe that's what it is. But anyways, like he was just like explaining things and like he wasn't necessarily saying that, but he wasn't even really denying the possibility of it either. Because he's someone who's religious and that sort of thing. So like he's got his certain beliefs, but he's also not. He hasn't shut the door on the possibility because at the end of the day, we don't know. You know what I mean?
100%. See, and like the thing is, like when you say that, like when I think multiverse, the easiest way for me to visualize that to somebody would be to say, like, to imagine a big block of Swiss cheese. And I mean, obviously, when it forms, it's this block of dense material, and over time, the holes start to expand in it. And so now it's got me imagining like each big bang is the expansion of a multiverse, a new hole in the cheese, if you will. It creates this notion that the multiverse is 4 dimensions, that we're, like a box that creates boxes within itself. And 4 dimensions is something that we can only through computer representation right now fully represent correctly. But when you're able to conceptualize a 4 dimensional shape in a 3 dimensional plane, it's pretty mind boggling. And it makes you start to think that maybe your
pretty
perception
mind-boggling.
on life isn't what it really is, right? My favorite example that I could think of immediately is the Klein bottle. And the Klein bottle is a shape that twists inside of itself and outside of itself in such a manner that it's connected, but it's also completely a full loop. It's so bizarre. And when you see it, you go,
Yeah, I've seen
huh.
some guy try to make its terrarium in one.
Yeah, dude, I've watched it. I've watched the same video. I love that kid.
Yeah.
Serpa Design. That kid freaks me out. He's a different kind of smart. Like, I watched that kid and his like level of thinking is so interesting and precise. The only way I can I can like extrapolate my thinking on it is to say it. He's like a real life Sheldon Cooper.
There's a lot of people like that out there, bro. I stumble across a lot of them on YouTube.
I have my Sheldon moments, I won't lie.
I don't know if I do. I just sometimes I just have a random smart thought that comes out,
I
which
don't even mean
usually isn't
smart,
my
I
own.
just mean weird.
Yeah, usually it's not my own either. It's just something I've heard.
So you're bringing it here, though, and if you can add to it, that's all that really matters.
Majority of the
I
stuff that I say on here is something I heard somewhere else. Majority of the time, you know what I mean?
Well, man, I don't think there's like a lot of people that are just like creating all this original thought of like all these extraterrestrial type
Dude, but how
things.
cool would
So,
it be if we were one of those people, Chris? That's all I'm saying, bro. No, I'm just
well, I mean, like I can spin up a story, you know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, it's a story. I think that like the people that you're hearing even explain it, right? Like they're just probably doing something similar. So they're creating a story and like you're just enjoying it and soaking it up. And it's interesting sometimes. Sometimes you're probably like, this is wild. Like
majority of the time I'm like, this is wild.
I know this. The black helicopters are out there. I've seen them and I can't explain them. But unmarked black helicopters, they do exist. And I just want to know what they're doing.
What about the birds, bro?
Listen,
oh, dude, don't even get started on robot
the
fucking
birds.
birds.
Listen,
Oh my god.
so somebody made an
Bro.
interesting point on a
What about
podcast
the
I was
birds,
listening to the
bro?
other day. Did you notice that during COVID you didn't see any birds? They had to fucking charge them all.
Oh, you're fucking. The thing is I wasn't outside, so I
That
couldn't
was
see the
my
birds, bro.
Just could you imagine you walk outside, it's just a bunch of birds.
You
They're like,
actually you had me start thinking. I was like, did I see any birds during COVID?
Oh
But
my
I was
God.
like, wait, I don't remember spending a lot of time outside. So how could I have seen them if they were there?
I know this. When I was outside, I had headphones in because
I
fuck
need
you,
a
don't talk
dab
to
now.
me.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers to that. I think I'll fire one up myself. I'm very happy that this company, Blue River Terps, shout out to Blue River Terps, they've partnered up with a new flower supplier. They partnered up with a company known as Impressed, and these genetics are wonderful. They make some high quality rosins over there at Blue River, and now that they use some material from a company I have more respect for, I'm very excited to use their product. Because they used to use flower from True Leaf, who are the only people to kill somebody in the industry. So True Leaf. We also found out, shout out to Mike Can and the Young Jerks. Go check out the Young Jerks podcast if you want to know what's going on in the cannabis industry and get the real tea. This dude is like a tireless cannabis journalist. But we found out, thanks to his journalism, that the owner and CEO of True Leaf has an extensive criminal background, including firearms charges and DUIs.
Honestly, doesn't really shock me.
It doesn't shock me either, honestly. But at the end of the day, like, it cracks me up that like these people in the industry choose to be just genuine dickheads and then think that nobody's gonna fucking call them out on their shit. Like, I love that there are actual cannabis journalists like Mike Can who are out here and calling them out on their shit. Because, man, this community, this whole cannabis community as a thing was built on a lot of really, really cool people. And it really sucks that those people are the ones who aren't getting to profit off of it. Only some real shitty people are managing to make the big
Oh,
billions.
honestly, dude, that's how all business works most of the time if you look at it.
Listen,
Guys
man,
are
I know
fucking-
this. Ben and Jerry's are some really decent people.
there are some good ones, but let's
So
be
it
honest.
can
like,
be done.
It can be, but let's be honest. Majority of the ones that are out there, they're
Another,
not ran by the nicest of people.
another dope company. Shout out to Jordan's Furniture, local New England chain of furniture stores. They treat their people extremely well from everything that I've ever heard. I've heard nothing but good. Very low attrition rate there.
I like how I just throw out a random furniture store. Yeah, check out. check,
Give me a second to finish this dab. I'll explain why.
You need your next sofa? You know where to go. Are you looking for an armoire? We got you.
Dude, there's a guy that's like from like Sean's area, or at least his state, that he has like all these like not infomercials, but they're like commercials, and like he has like long gray hair and he's bald and it's in a ponytail and it's a furniture shop. Sean, you know what I'm talking about?
That was so vague.
But you do know.
So I'm pretty sure you're describing Jordan's Furniture. I'm pretty sure.
Let me check.
Because the thing with Jordan's Furniture is that it used to be owned by these two guys, Barry and Elliot. I think it's been like 10, 15 years now. One of the partners, I think it's Elliot, is the one that passed away. Barry's the one that's alive. I might be wrong. I might have it backwards. Either way, name's not really important in this situation. These guys ran their business with family values, so they would do things like shut down the entire fucking chain and take their entire company from top to bottom on vacation for a week.
Yeah, that's exactly who it is, because I just clicked on images and it's like all of him, like he's like, a balding, gray-haired, long ponytail, glasses, boom,
Yep.
and a beard.
These guys pay their employees over median wage for their positions, which is awesome. So you're getting top pay for your roles. They get better commission rates than most places. This company builds restaurants into their furniture store. Some of them have moms, which are the Motion Odyssey movie theaters built into them. So like they have designed their whole shopping experience around this like event experience for people. They even went and bought the old I think it was Macy's in New York, their old Christmas display that they would put up in the windows in New York, and put it up on display now in one of the main Jordan furniture locations. So it's really cool that like they treat their people to that degree. You know what I mean? Like there are good companies out there. I mean,
Yeah, but
shit.
with that, I was talking about big corporations. They like when you
Yeah,
come
this is
when you're
does not look
talking
like a
about that's
corporation, but it looks like a
yeah,
big localized business chain
yeah,
at the very
it started
least.
off as probably a family business and is expanded, but they've kept that family values. A lot of times, once you get to a certain point, you lose those family values and are all about the money, and that's how most of them become these big giant corporations like Walmart and like
Well,
things like that.
I'm glad you brought up Walmart because I will at least argue that Walmart is not as evil
It's a
as
pretty shitty
some of
company,
them.
bro. Trust me,
Trust me,
I've worked there.
I know, but on a corporate level, right? Like I know it sucks to work for them. I've known plenty of people who worked there, my mother included. But I know that on a corporate level, they actually do a lot of charitable giving. So I at least have to give them their due there. They at least do that. Which is a
Well,
lot more than some corporations their size are known for.
that's still the
We
end of
know
the
Jeff
day.
Bezos and Amazon ain't doing any of that kind of charity.
Oh, I'm sure they probably are, dude, but they're not publicizing it.
And they suck just as bad to work for too, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you get to those big corporations and you're literally running fucking your side of the pretty much running shit in whatever industry, and you at a certain point stop giving a shit about your fucking the inside and only care about what you're producing.
You know what the craziest part about that is though, is like there's probably people out there that are like, yo, working at Amazon literally gave me an opportunity to set up my family for now and for the future too. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that like as much as I hate on some of those companies, like some of those companies give people opportunities
Oh
and like for
yeah,
whatever reason it clicks and it's just like, oh, that's awesome for them.
I
But
think
probably on the grander scale, you're right. It's
yeah. Well,
probably a lot of like
that's kind of what I
shitty
mean.
moves at some level.
I'm not necessarily saying that because there I've worked with people in some of these places, and it's not necessarily the people that are within the industry. It's just kind of more the bigger picture sort of thing, and that's where like some of the fucking shittiness comes from. You know what I'm saying?
I think a
But
lot of it
like,
though, like, is when you deal with a big company like a Walmart, for example, right? Like you have a sort of shit rolls downhill, trickle down situation, right? And so obviously, yes, we know that like in the glass box corporate office, nobody gives a fuck about those guys in the warehouse. We know that. But as that disdain trickles down, right? You have in some cases, I think, and I'd like to believe at least, you know, regional managers who are like, no, I'm not gonna continue that cycle. I'm gonna treat my people decent. And because of that, then their district managers treat their people decent. And because of that, those managers treat their people decent. And so I feel like you can get pockets
yeah. Well,
where
yeah,
that culture
you could
still
find that anywhere,
exists.
dude.
You know, yeah.
I feel like it's fewer and far between nowadays. Is all I meant. You know what I mean?
I maybe, but I also I'm trying not to be jaded about it right now. Because like
Dude, I am bad, bro. Working for any large corporation, I always just felt like I was never valued as an employee for the amount of work that I ever put in. And with the
That's probably just
business,
like bad managers though, you know?
it could be. But
Yeah.
at the same time, that's just been I've had enough bad experiences to where that's something I don't just ever want to put myself in that situation again. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's definitely a roll of the
And
dice.
that, and I've also found a smaller family-owned business that, you know, kind of like what Sean was saying about, you know, Jordan's Furniture, that treat their employees as if they're family, and it's not their business, it's our business as a shop. You know what I mean? It's like if the shop fucking does well, we all do well. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. It's like our success, not like
Exactly. It's
you're
not
just
the
a
company's
pleb.
success, it's the fucking shop
Yeah.
success. Everybody that's under this roof that puts in hours at this shop, if we make more money, we get more money. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, they want to be able to do as much for us as we're doing for them as a company. And like they voice that, you know what I mean, and they show it, and they continuously, you know, either do things or, you know, just like let us bounce early and fucking pay us for the full day, or, you know, call in a taco truck, or, you know, give us a bonus you know, quarterly, or however often they're going to be able to, depending on what kind of revenue we're making for the company and that sort of thing. And they're continuously looking at ways to improve the process to take some of the load off of us as far as, you know, physical strain, and make the process easier to where we're not having to lift and, you know, bend and, you know, do these things to where it's like we're literally just there pushing things down the line, and, you know, to make things more smooth. And, you know, it's just cool to see a company work the way that this company works. And, you know what I mean, and just the things that they do that they don't have to do. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of shit they do for us. Like they go and like when it's hot, they go and they went and bought us these fucking cooling rags that you just soak with a little bit of water, wring them out, and then just hang them around your neck. And like
Oh,
as like the fucking like air passes by you, it's like a little personal like fucking AC thing, dude. They got these electrolyte popsicles they always have for us. They've got like these dope, they went and bought us a brand new dope ass coffee maker that looks like it might even make espressos or some shit to have in our break room. You know what I mean? That like they do all kinds of cool shit for us. So it's like I'm at the point now where it's like I don't fucking hate getting up to go to work, because I feel like I'm just gonna put in work just to get yelled at. You know what I mean? I can go in, do my shit, and at the end of the day, they're like, "Hey man, thanks for putting in a good day. We'll see you tomorrow." You know what I mean? Every day they're always like, "Thank you." No matter what, they're like, "Hey man, appreciate everything." You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah,
shit,
it's like a different vibe for
that goes
sure.
a fucking long way, bro. You know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of cool ways that like businesses can really do things like that for their people. I know, like, here we go into the regional thing that's going on up here. There's a regional chain of grocery stores up here, Market Basket. Um, what sets these guys apart from every other grocery store around, you know, most of the nation, is that they're completely employee owned. When you become an employee of Market Basket, you immediately receive shares of the business. So you actually get to participate in profit sharing, and you get to vote on major decisions for your company. So if your company is going to do something big with its money, maybe acquire a chain or something, you have a voice, you have a vote in that. And that's super friggin' cool, because at one point they tried to get a new CEO into the company, and they forced the original owner out of his CEO position, and it fucking caused a huge commotion to the point that they actually removed the new CEO and put the old owner back in his place.
Crazy.
So like there are some pretty impressive things out there. I was told a really cool story from my company that I guess just before I had come on, like the month prior, they had booked a resort and booked the entire hotel room out for the entire company, basically shut everybody down for a weekend, took them all out to this resort, all expenses paid, and then they had 50 Cent come out and perform.
Oh shit.
So everybody got free drinks, free food, a free concert, and a free hotel on the company dime as a thank you for all their hard work.
That's sick.
I was like, if that's the kind of company y'all are, I could stick around for at least a couple to 5 years. I mean, damn.
That's what like where I'm at with this spot, you know what I mean? Like at first it was just a job just to get me by until I found something else, you know what I mean? But the longer I've worked for these people and the more I've like kind of just like learned about what their plans are and what they're, trying to achieve for us, it's like, fuck, do I really want to even go anywhere else? Like this is, you know what I mean? Like I'm not.
No.
You guys just have probably seen like I don't come home fucking pissed off about fucking work anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm just chilling. I go and do my shit. You know what I mean? I'm working on things that like now I'm on a 3-axis CNC machine. So like, dude, and all the jobs that I'm working on, like when you think about it, it's like more mental work than it is physical, because like I'm actually having to, work with computer programs and build profiles and that sort of thing. So like it's more to like remember on that. But like on the physical end, bro, I just stand there and watch the machine do the fucking work. When it's done, I fucking clear the table, slide another fucking sheet of plywood on there, and then just stand there and let it do its thing. You know what I mean? I get bored at work now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The beautiful thing, and it's something that I've kind of held in my mind for many years now, is I feel like as time moves on, the goal should be to make the most amount of money for the least amount of actual work.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, and like I feel like I don't know where I'm at as far as the pay scale goes and that sort of thing, but like I'm making decent money, you know what I mean? And I know like there's the possibility to make more as long as the company does well. So it's just like I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, and the more things that I learn to do in the shop in turn makes me more valuable as an employee, which hopefully means I make a little bit more money. I'm thinking about, future instead of just being complacent in like where I'm at. And like they brought me in for a little meeting like a couple weeks ago to tell me that I was going to be on the CNC machine. And we sat there and had a 2-hour conversation just about the company and like their goals and like that sort of thing, and like where they want to be able to have everybody, kind of be like a Swiss Army knife sort of thing. And I'm like, hey man, you put me where you need me. You know what I mean? I'll be your Swiss Army knife. You know what I mean? Just give me, a little bit of time to learn the process of wherever you're putting me, and I'll pick it up and we'll make it happen, sort of thing. So
It's funny because I had a very similar conversation with my boss this week because we acquired one of our biggest competitors in the state in our field. So now we have a whole another shop doing the same thing. But this company has our state police contract. So these guys build state police trucks. So now we have to acquire that huge endeavor, which means shifting a whole lot of workloads around, which means my shop's about to get a lot busier. I'm going to get a lot busier. Um, and it probably means that what used to be part of a 5-year plan got shrunk to a 3-year plan. And that's huge because that means more money in the company, more money for our technicians who are doing that part of the job, more money
yep.
for me, probably more people. Um, it's positive growth for everybody. Um, and it's really cool that you have opportunities like these where you're able to share in that vision, that overall plan, whether it's a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, to see what the company's aiming for, and then for them to even be able to look at you and say, and here's kind of what your role should be evolving through that same period. um it's reassuring, and I think
Yeah.
it helps you as a human being better plan for your own future.
Yeah, because it gives you kind of a little bit of peace of mind that you have stability as far as where your job goes, with opportunity to excel, and also well, I don't know what the word is I was gonna say, but also have the opportunity to make more money doing what you're doing, with opportunity to move up in the company. Because I've been in places where I know it's like I get into a spot and I'm pretty much there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's not much chance of me, moving up or moving into different place, this or that. So like knowing now that like I've already been through multiple, departments within this company for the short time I've been there. Like I think I've been there for 2 years yet. Um, and it's like I've already, moved my way up to running some of the more complicated machinery in the, in the shop is pretty cool. And the fact that I've had sit down conversations with them, and they've told me they really value me as an employee and this and that, and they really have uh what's the word? Well, why do I have to get so stoned sometimes? Because now my brain doesn't want to work. But they really
You'll make it.
yeah, they really believe in my potential, as an employee to, move up and, help them progress as a company. So like that, just hearing that, just being there for the short period of time that I have been is just, it's dope. It's reassuring, especially coming from the few jobs that I've had, especially, work the door shop experience was, kind of like it's like a similar, operation as far as being in a production line sort of thing, but like being treated as, a valued employee instead of just another cog in the wheel, and, being taken advantage of it's a different experience, man.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, I feel the same because like I watched a decline of culture from one of that level of true interpersonal communication, things like that, into a cog in the wheel and people being taken advantage of, and it becomes so disheartening. Like I hear and read all about these concepts of quiet quitting and all of that, and
It happens, bro.
that's the thing.
I've
Like,
seen it.
can
Like
you
even
blame people like when these are the ways that like their work experiences are?
I
Like
did it.
the Wait, here you go. I'm gonna give you another Simpsons reference right here. Homer Simpson tells his daughter Lisa, like, that's not what you do. What you do is you go to work and you do a half-ass job every day. That's the American way.
Like looking back, that's pretty much what I did at the door shop, bro.
That's
Is I
it.
just kind of quiet quit because I just stopped giving a shit. So like I wasn't worried about showing up on time. You know what I mean? When I went in, I would just do whatever I had to do to get through the fucking day. And if it didn't get done, oh fucking well, hey, not my fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And eventually they started to notice, and I just showed up late one too many times, and it was all right, you're out. And at the end of the day, I think it was for the best, because now, a job or two later, I found this fucking spot, with Brentwood, and just like I couldn't have asked for a better job. You know what I mean? It's closer to fucking home. I don't have that fucking hour and a half commute back and forth to work anymore. It's just a 15-minute jaunt back and forth. You know what I mean? Like I can't fucking beat it. Work for a cool company. I got the days off. My hours are sick. It doesn't like interfere with anything else that I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't come home pissed off every day.
Well, I feel you. The beautiful
Like
thing, I not being in retail, like obviously you're a little more used to this in the production field, I imagine, but like now I get those 3-day weekends. Like I'll have Labor Day off. I
oh
won't
yeah,
have to
dude.
go to work on
And that's
Monday.
the thing too, is like
Like
when I worked at Walmart, I didn't get holidays and I get paid for them either. So it's like with this job, I get holidays off, I get paid for them. You know what I mean? I get to take, as long as I give them far enough notice, I can pretty much take as many days off as I want. It's just, do I want to, take the hit on pay or not, is the
Right.
whole thing. You know what I mean? As
100%.
long as I'm not doing it all the fucking time, you know what I mean? And I'm there, like for me, like I pick and choose, like when I want to like call off, it's just like I'll give them like 2-3 months in advance, and then I'll bust my ass that entire time to set them up to where when I am off, they don't even have to turn that fucking machine on if they don't want to, because I'm so far ahead that I can come back and still be with on schedule. You know what I mean?
That's another thing too, right? Like in my state, we have a state law that requires that you get sick time.
Oh
And
yeah, we
so
have a couple. We have like 3 sick days or some shit that we
the
could use too. But like once those are gone, you're
so the
gone.
way that our state does it, you're required to earn 40 hours based on like I think it's 1 hour of sick time per every 40 hours that you actually work, till you accrue up to 40 hours in a year. Um, so that's the way that works. Now, there's a loophole in it though that says that you can allow the personal / vacation time to also be that sick time. So as a result, a lot of retail companies, they want the most profit, cut the bottom line as best they can. They don't split them. It's all one. It's amazing that I have a company that I have sick time and then I have vacation time.
Yeah, that's kind of how my company works. But instead of like just getting the time off, I get a check at the beginning of every year on my anniversary. That's a check for a full 40-hour week. So it's like instead of having vacation time, I just get a fucking anniversary check that pretty much pays for a full week. So if I want to take a week off, I've already been paid for it. You know what I mean? So, so it's the same, pretty much the same thing, but instead I just get the money up front and then I could take however many days off I need to. You know what I mean?
Meanwhile, mine has to accrue. So like I've been with the company 3 months. I think I've finally accrued 9 hours of vacation time. So I can take
it's like
a day off.
Yeah. And then like
After
after
how long? How
3
long,
months.
Sean?
3
Oh
months.
my god.
Yeah, and then I think however long I'm with the company, it may it may go up depending on how long I've been there. But
Yeah, for sure. Because like at this rate, Sean will only get 36 hours in a full year of sick time or like vacation time.
I'll basically have a full 40 hours after a year of working at full time 40 hours.
1 week. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I had to work there a year before I got that too, so it's kind of similar, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Like I had to work
so like
up
at
to
some
that.
point it's gonna like break into you get 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Not for me.
possibly for
Not
me,
for you, Sean?
depending on how long
Nope.
I've been there. I think I might have to be there for a couple years before I get like an extra week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think our vacation time carries
I have to
over.
look at my hand.
No, but Sean, I'm meaning like you'll earn it faster.
No.
Like you're saying somebody that's worked there for 15 years, they've earned one vacation week worth of like vacation days.
Yeah, that's how a lot of it works. Like, I don't know for sure.
That's
I haven't looked at
crazy.
how the
Whoa.
accrual rate works for us.
That's wild.
But yeah, that's how it often works.
Does it
around
roll
here.
over?
I don't know if ours rolls over. I don't think. It could, but I don't think so.
Yeah, ours don't. Like our sick days don't. So I make sure to use them.
Dude, up here it's like mandatory. You get 2 weeks. You can like earn your vacation, and you'll get vacation time. But it'll be vacation pay, and then you can just take it. And if you work a full year, you'll get 2 weeks worth of like wages over like that time that you can take off.
Offering vacation time's not mandatory at all in the US and definitely not in my state.
Yeah, dude, they take and they'll give you an extra 4% on every paycheck, and that it gets set aside. Some companies will actually include it, but like, so let's just say that like every single paycheck, you get paid twice, 2 weeks, and let's just say that you make $1,000. Let's just for easy math, we're gonna do $1,000. You would get $1,040. But $40 would get put in your vacation pay. And then you go and you keep on going. And so like at the end of the whatever, right?
So they deduct it as a deduction off your paycheck?
No, they add it. It's not a deduction. If let's say you get paid $20 an hour and you work 1,000 hours, your paycheck is for 1,040 because there's 40 additional into vacation pay, but that is not what you get. Your check is for $1,000 less the taxes. The $40 gets put into a separate thing. And on your like pay stub or your email like stub, whatever, like digital stub, it'll
show
say
a deduction
like,
for like vacation, and it'll like
no, there'll
take
be
that
no
40 and
deduction.
put it
It'll be an
aside.
additional. It'll be an addition. So they by law they have to pay 4% of whatever you're getting paid into vacation. So I would still get my full $20 an hour.
Okay, so they show it as an earning that's then
it's
being
like
put into your.
It's like a benefit. It's like a benefit.
Oh yeah, that's kind of
as
that's.
a benefit.
I guess that's what I meant. But like instead of you getting paid that 40, it just gets taken.
Yeah, they're getting their
subtracted to that.
accrual rate is based on dollar amount, whereas in the US it's more common to base it off of hour amounts.
Oh yeah.
Well, no,
that's where I think
it's a percentage. Yeah, it's a percentage. It's 4% of like on top of your pay. So you're actually getting paid 104% for what you're working.
Yeah.
But you just that 4% is held back, and then you have to request your vacation time and request your vacation pay so you're not missing a check.
Yeah.
So like some jobs it might be like, yeah, you can go on vacation, but you're gonna have a short check. Well, if you have this, it's like, yeah, you're gonna
Well,
go on
that's
vacation.
how
We'll
ours
make your check
works.
full.
Yeah, that's how ours
That's-
works too. But the way that our companies out here would report it is hours. So it would be like, for 1 week's what labor you've earned 1 hour of vacation time.
Okay.
And you still get
So
paid
this is
for
a
it
different
too.
breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I want
And
to,
then once your vacation time's gone, then you could take a day and you won't get paid for it if they allow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if they're not like, wow,
That's
this
some
guy just keeps
companies.
on calling
Yeah.
out or like
Yeah.
not showing up. Fuck this guy. We're just gonna fire him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess it's similar, except for you guys just do it as a percentage compared to us just doing it as like an hour.
yeah,
or
ours
like-
is
Yeah,
based
because
on
that
the
obviously
hours
has to make
worked.
sense too, right? But I guess yours is also, it's like hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like for
Right.
every 40 hours you earn 1 hour of vacation, and then once you hit your 40 hours of vacation, you want to take a week off, you can request a week off, and
So if you put in
Good.
overtime, does that mean that you can amplify that time, or is it
you won't amplify it, but you would accrue it faster,
okay?
because you're still gonna you say you work 50 hours, you're still gonna earn an extra 10 hours towards your vacation time, so your 40 hours of vacay might come a couple weeks faster if you do that regularly, right? But
Yeah. Okay.
I know
Do you guys-
this. I'm notorious for 10 minutes early every day, so that way I can get like an extra 50 minutes of overtime on my paycheck. So What's
Yeah,
it
Well,
called?
they don't-
I'm
they
just
don't-
here to be prepared.
They
I'm
won't
here
let
to be
us do that.
prepared.
We can only clock in 5 minutes early.
I'll tell you this. I used to hate at the dispensary that they had to have like the really high tech fingerprint systems. So it was one of those where like you couldn't. It was 5 minutes. If you tried before 5 minutes, clocking in was not an option.
Yeah, we got like little key fobs that we have to fucking ding in with.
My company now, it's an app on my cell phone. As long as I'm on the property, I can punch in.
Yeah, I wouldn't, dude. I would forget if that was the thing. I need a time clock and it has to be right when I walk in. Otherwise,
Oh
I'll
well,
forget.
see, my boss understands that, and literally in the door we walk in, there's like right on the glass before you even open it is a sign that says "punch in," and that way when
Yeah.
you're walking out, it also says "punch out," just to make sure you
Yeah.
remember when you get in the parking lot. Like, yeah, let's
Because,
do
dude,
that
I'm
right
so
now.
scatterbrained, dude.
My job, big, what it is, like,
I almost forgot my phone in my fucking toolbox the other day.
oh no.
Got in my car, like pulled out. I was like, oh fuck. Pulled right back in, fucking ran back into the shop before they locked the door.
That's a no-go. Can't lose the phone at work.
Well, dude, so I have
be a
to empty
bummer.
I empty my pockets when I'm working, bro. I can't have things in my pockets while I'm working.
I can understand that.
Where do you put your phone? In your back pocket?
No, usually I just set it on the top of my toolbox.
Oh, okay, because your headphones are connected and that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really get too far away from it. You know what I mean? Unless I get on the forklift and then I'll grab my phone, put it on my pocket, and then
Yeah.
do my thing.
Well, then you're not. It's not going to get in the road to like you getting hurt or something, probably, because you're contained inside of the forklift. The phone's not going to cause you from like getting clipped by something or
No.
jammed on a machine or whatever.
Well, that night I have those headphones to where it's like I can do noise canceling, or I can have them like as be aware. So it's like not only can I hear what's like coming through the headphones, but it also amplifies the stuff around me. So it's like I can hear like anything around me. So as soon as I get on the forklift, I just give it a little tap, and then I can hear everything.
Yeah,
nice
aware
feature.
mode.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a nice feature. I like that.
that or I just pause whatever I'm listening to until I get outside, and no one. And once I get outside, there's nobody out there, so I'll just fucking turn it back on.
It gets weird, man, because like where I work at a shop, we have the Bluetooth speaker that are up in the ceiling that actually like play through the whole shop. But then like obviously sometimes some of the guys don't feel like listening to whatever's playing. So they just start playing their own music in their bays, and their bays aren't walled off. There's just like some toolboxes in between each
Yeah.
bay. So like
It's just
you'll
a
like
clusterfuck.
yeah, you'll listen over it, like you can hear like Drake, and for some reason it's strangely syncing up to like Lamb of God, and it's like, why? What's
Dude,
going on
this
out
is a
here?
dope mix, bro.
Yeah, it happened the other day. Like It was Drake like syncing up with some metal song. I don't think it was Lamb of God, but I was like, why does this actually sound good? This is weird. Love that.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked that they let us listen to headphones.
I mean,
Dude,
we
I just put
could.
them in and I just listen to like podcasts all day and just get my shit done. Honestly, I
great.
got caught the other day because I was watching one while I was working. Because like I was running the molding machine. A lot of the times, depending on what I'm running, I'm just standing there and just pushing boards through it for a while. And then I'll walk to the other end and I'll fucking like even them out or whatever, like in the cart. So like I could fit more on there. But for a period, I'll just stand there and just have it like set up in the top of my toolbox. And I'll just like watch it as I'm pushing boards through there. My fucking uh the owner's son walks out and he's like starts talking to me. He looks over at my phone. He's like, "Oh, is that the new episode?" I was like, "Yeah."
You're just like,
He's like,
yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, it's Post Malone." He's like, "Oh, it's sick." He's like, "I'll have to check that one out." And then he just started talking to me about whatever.
Yo,
And then like later on that day is when we had that little meeting. And I was like, yeah, I was like, honestly, I was like, sometimes I just sit there and I'll just like watch a fucking podcast. I was like, Jordan caught me earlier. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, it's cool. He's like, I know you know what you're doing. Like, you didn't give a shit.
I love that shit. Some of the guys do that shit there at their tool benches.
Well, he also knows that I like
know?
smoke weed and all that shit. He's like, dude, I do too. He's like, it's cool. He's like, but he's like, as long as you're not doing it here, bro, I don't give a fuck.
Right? As long as you don't cut your
He's like,
fucking hand off.
and even if you do, bro, he's like, just keep that shit in your fucking car. Just don't be an idiot. Because we've had some guys get fired for like
no.
doing some stupid shit. And I'm like, oh no, dude. I was like, I know I've got responsibilities. I was like, that's what I do when I get home. He's like, I respect the fuck out of that, bro. He's like, some people here don't understand that. Because like one day he walked up to me and he handed me like one of those stizzy pins, like the little
disposable
pod,
jam type
the little,
deals.
the little pod guys. He's like, hey, he's like, this is like a weed one, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, thought so. Yeah, apparently somebody fucking found it in like found it in an apron and like just set it down somewhere, and he like stumbled across it. I almost wanted to be like, well, hey, dude, if you don't want it, I'll take it. No.
It's like, don't worry, I got you.
He
I
came
got
up
you.
to me a while back too, asking me about like shops to go to get like a cartridge or whatever.
I love that shit. Like the guys in my shop, if they want advice, they know go to Sean. Dude fucking worked in a dispensary for 2 years. You'll have every answer for every question you got. Like, yep.
Yeah, I'm just
No.
like I've gotten to the point now where I'm old enough to realize that it's like when I'm working on like fucking machines and shit that I'm working on, it's like you don't need to have anything that's gonna have you like kind of not thinking about what you're doing. You know what I mean? And that's why I kind of partake in weed sometimes because it makes me just zone out. You know what I mean?
Yup.
And I don't need to be doing that when I'm working with like saws or fucking driving forklifts and that sort of shit. So it's like I wait till I get home and I sit here in my fucking desk chair like I am right now, take dabs, play Call of Duty, and fucking chill. You know
Yeah.
what I
Dude,
mean?
there's something to be said
100%.
about consuming safely, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I really
100%.
think that I don't know if that's an age thing, a responsibility thing, or just a common sense thing. I don't know what it is, but
Well, but
I
no,
definitely
because I
like
was just
kind of
saying
hit that a long
there
time
was a
ago.
long period of my life where it's like it didn't matter what I was doing. I was like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I would consume during work hours. You know what I mean? On my lunch break, I'd just fucking go to my car. I used to keep my bong in my car and take bong rips during my lunch break, bro. When I worked at the door shop. You know what I mean? It's like
I've been there.
there were times where I had a fucking dab rig in my car and I would take dabs during my lunch break.
So when we were working at Jeep, me and my buddy Danny, we would show up. We would open that shop at 6:30 in the morning. So he and I would show up at like 6 a.m., hang out in the parking lot for like, 15, 20 minutes before we would go unlock the doors, turn everything on, and open the shop at 6:30. And me and this kid would sit there and we each would take nectar collectors and
Yep.
rip fucking dabs at 6 a.m. And then we would go in, open the shop, get everything going. I was just doing fucking oil changes. He was doing like oil and brake jobs, things like that. and come break,
Dude,
come lunchtime, do the
there's
same thing.
There's a couple of us. We hop in my car on lunch break, fucking go get food or whatever, go park somewhere, fucking take some rips, go back.
Dude, the best thing about fucking Jeep was that they had the damn roach coach. Fucking food dude would roll up
Dude, we
before
used to
even
have one
lunch
that
break.
came through there every now and then too.
Oh man, you grab some fucking food from him. You'd be able to eat while you were working, and then when lunch break came, you'd already eaten, so you could just spend a half hour vaping your face off and getting stuff.
Dude, I kind of want them to get one to come through where we're at now.
Yeah. I've wanted the same thing at my spot. There's an ice cream truck that rolls through once in a while.
Because they got us vending machines, bro, but I fucking hate using them, dude, because my money's gotten eaten in it so many times. Like I've put money in there and then never got my fucking shit. Not only that, but one of the machines shoots out like fucking like dollar coins, but doesn't accept dollar coins.
The
Oh,
fuck?
that pisses me off.
So it's like, okay, you're gonna give me a coin that I can't put in you. What the fuck? So I've got all
what
these
happens if I have a $5 bill and I want to get multiple items? You're
dude.
fucked.
No, you could put a 5 in there and it'll
Yeah, I
take
know, but then you're gonna kick back. It's gonna kick back dollar coins that you can't
Yeah,
put back in.
exactly.
That's
What
I mean.
happens. And then the other machine doesn't take them either.
Oh, that's dirty.
So it's not like, oh, well, I'll put it in this machine and then just fucking eject it and hopefully it gives me quarters. No. And then
Need
they've
to
got like
install a
and then
quarter
they have
machine.
and then they have like the little phone thing on there, or they had it on there for a while, but it puts like a $10 charge on your or $10 hold on your card
What?
to use it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to use $10 worth of in this machine at one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck
And
you.
how long does it take to clear?
A week.
Oh my god, what the hell is that?
That's some bullshit.
I'm like, fuck you, bro.
Dude, I know like gas stations, if you pay at the pump and like let's say that you want to put in, you just put in $80, right? And you can only get in like $70. You don't get that $10 right away. Like it takes like a little bit of time for them
Yeah,
to process
it's
it
maybe
all.
72 hours typically for most of those processors.
Yeah, and like that sucks, dude. Like
for me out
actually,
here, it
on the
only
way
charges
down
me
here,
for
I
what I
noticed.
put in.
Well, it will do that if I go in and pay at the pump or whatever, but like you pre-approve like up to so I'll pre-approve $80, and so it'll like charge $80, and then it makes like a record, but like it'll show $80 on my credit card, and then like eventually it'll switch itself and it'll like
Yeah,
either
that's
like
weird. Mine
reimburse me or
doesn't do
whatever.
that because like I'll go in and be like, oh, let me get like 860 on whatever, and then I'll only pump like 50. And then when I fucking put the thing back in there, it'll fucking finally charge my card, and it only charges for the amount that I put in, even if I told them I wanted this much.
Got you. Yeah, it's weird. I really only was concerned about it because when I came down here, dude, I kept on like saying like, oh, I'll put in like 200, or it was like 150 or whatever. I don't remember what it was. And I was like coming up like 30, 40 short every time. So when I looked at my credit card statement, dude, I was like, yo, I fucking spent like $1,500. Like what even happened? And then it was like maybe, 3 or 4 days later, I looked and I owed like 900. You know what I mean? Because it was
Yeah.
like it was charging me for all these extras. I'd be like, oh, I'll put in 150 and get in 98.
Yeah, well, maybe it might do that on credit card, but I always use my debit card.
Yeah, it differs depending on processing companies how long those holds last, and they might even differ based on banks. And so, like, all
Yeah,
of
that could
those
be
things
part of
can
it
play
too.
can play into it. Because I know like there are some companies, they'll do like if you go put your card in at the pump, and for the indefinite pump amount, they'll put $150 hold on a card, and that's even if you're going to go pump $25. So like that can get really shitty. Like there are people who, they might only have $100 in their account. They're going to put some gas in the card. They only need to put $20 in, and they can't pay at the pump. It gets denied. And they can go in, get the $20 pre-approved, and it'll work. And it's just the way that card processor works for that place. And it sucks. As a person who has lived paycheck to paycheck in my life, that sucks.
Dude, just like living paycheck to paycheck in general sucks. There's so many factions of your life that suck because of that. You know, it's like opportunities you miss out on if they're fun or like quality opportunities and whatever it happens to be, so many different things. And you have to like make sure everything lines up and like trying to save for something that could be coming in like 2 or 3 months. Like there's like this just ultimate like
the
stress
stress
that whole
factor.
time.
The stress factor is ultimately like, if you can just eliminate that stress factor alone, everything else is a breeze.
Yeah, if you can just like keep it in the black steady, you're good. You know what I mean? Just always keep it in the black. You know, you get paid and you don't have, 17 cents in your bank account.
Exactly.
That's the goal. That's the
Dude,
goal.
that's honestly one of the things I'm so proud of myself on. Like within the last like 5 to 10 years is like I finally am not living check to check anymore. You know, it's like I have a consistent amount of money like in my account at all times. You know what I mean?
It's so key. It's that grown
It's
up
nice,
growth.
bro, because it's such a peace of mind to know that
Dude,
like
that's
if
what
something
it's
were to
huge
come up,
for.
I know that I can handle it and I'm not going to be fucking
Well,
broke
dude, it's
or
like
be
this
fucking
weekend,
scraping by. Exactly. Well, dude, the
right?
crazy part about that is shout outs to my fucking job once again. I can't praise them enough. It's like that entire trip's been paid for already
What do
Yeah.
you mean?
because I got a pretty nice bonus, bro. We'll talk about it afterwards, but I got a pretty nice bonus.
Let's go.
And that entire trip's paid for, bro. And I've got some spending cash for when I'm there. You know what I mean? So it's like,
That's perfect then.
Don't
yeah.
you
So
love that? Like,
and it's like all of my other obligations are taken care of and everything. You know what I mean? And I'm actually losing out on a day and a half worth of pay. Actually, I'm losing out on Friday and Monday because since I'm not there the day before the holiday, I'm not going to get paid for the holiday, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so shit.
But it's worth it because I'm not going to be hurting. It's all good.
Yeah, no. I mean, hey, and you're right. For that recharge, like level will be great. It'll be better than like getting paid for the day that you're not at
Yeah.
work.
that shit's what becomes clutch. It's at the end of the day, it's not about the money you earn, it's about the way you spend your time.
That's the one thing too, bro. Is like I just want to try to start getting out more, not spending so much time just sitting here. So it's like a week or two after that, I think I might be meeting up with some more people, like some of the Yo Cool Kids Club people in like or LA area or something, just to hang out for like a couple days.
That's sick. Like that's the shit that we all need to be doing more of. Like, I for one will be quick to say, like, the world's fucking crazy. People are out of their fucking minds these days. But to take a little term that is taking over the internet, we all need to get out there and touch grass.
Yeah, for real.
Like, literally, we all need to get out there and touch some grass, damn it.
Or even just get out of like the environment that you're in all the time. So like I took my parents out last night for dinner and a movie. You know what I mean? We just went out for a couple hours, went and saw a movie, had dinner, even though dinner was kind of shit because the service was terrible. We still went out and
hey, at least the
hung
movie
out
was
with
good.
Yeah. Spend some time with my parents.
I
is
guess
always
that's
good
true.
too,
Yeah, it wasn't a complete fail.
Yeah.
It's cool though. Like
So
my cousin.
we all bonded on talking shit about how terrible the service was. So,
Yeah. My cousin actually
It
is
was a
down right
cementing
now.
experience.
And so we
like
did
both me
something
and my dad were
similar.
like, he ain't getting a tip. And then like
thankfully, when my cousins and I went out, we didn't have bad service. We actually had really good service. The food was fucking amazing.
the food wasn't bad, but the service just like made it like kind of a bummer. Anyways, sorry, Sean.
But yeah, like it was good to get out and like hang out with people outside and do something.
Dude, I did say this though while we were there because like there was a group of like some young kids next to us that were there for like maybe somebody's birthday or something. But like it also reminds me that like certain people don't know how to act in public.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because they were just being obnoxious and loud and standing up and walking around the table. And, while they're right next to us, just like one of them was just continuously hitting this other kid in the head with a balloon the entire fucking time we were there. We're like, well, come on, dude. It's like there's other people in here besides you guys. You could tell they're like probably young teens, maybe high school.
Yeah, like they were like still new to like going out without parents being there, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They
But
don't
old
know how
enough
to
to
do like
know
a
how
big
to
wheel.
act.
don't know how to act without supervision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it also kind of reminds me of how I was when I went out with my buddies at that time, and
Oh, I'm sure that I was the
people
same.
probably hated us
Absolutely.
more, bro, because some of the dudes I hung out with around that time were pretty fucking obnoxious.
Well, shit, man. I can remember us going out to breakfast after an Insane Clown Posse show, like the morning after, still in our paint. Like we hadn't gone to sleep yet. So like
Just
a group of
juggaloed out,
5 of
bro.
us walk into this like quaint little breakfast restaurant with fucking killer clown makeup on, like, seat for 5, please. Like we were respectful, but we just fucking
Looked
bunch
crazy.
of juggalo kids looked like
Yeah.
we're murderous clowns sitting down enjoying pancakes and eggs.
No one
like,
else is able to enjoy their food.
People
They
just
both-
staring like, what corner of hell did these people crawl
Yeah.
out of? Oh man. We also used to do that after metal shows too, though. We'd go to like IHOP at like 2 in the
Dude,
morning.
it was after
Oh,
anything, bro.
man.
For us, it was like any high school like event or function or something. It was like afterwards, we're hitting up fucking Denny's, bro. It was the spot because there was one right next to the high school. So after a football game, after a dance, after whatever, bro, you're at the fucking Denny's because it was one of the only spots that was open late, and you just catch all the fucking high school kids in there running amok.
Bro. Too many kids can be scary.
Dude, some shit would go down too at the Denny's, bro. There'd be fights and all kinds of shit too.
Hell, there was a mosh pit at a Denny's once. Open up this pit, Denny's.
Yeah,
Dude,
there's a
I've
point where
definitely
they
seen some wild shit at Denny's. So like late night, like 2, 3 a.m. like late at night. I've seen some shit at Denny's. There's no doubt in my mind.
for sure.
See, we don't get Denny's enough around here, so like it's always the IHOP.
We had an IHOP
okay,
too,
okay.
but it was a little
Yeah.
We
bit
didn't have
further
any
away.
IHOPs.
We only got the IHOPs really. I miss the Howard Johnsons, damn it.
Never been there.
They were a hotel chain that also had like a breakfast restaurant attached.
Yeah, the
And, like,
Hojo. I remember
yeah.
like the Howard Johnson hotels.
The Hojo's restaurants
But
were
is that
actually
not around
bangers.
anymore?
Oh, they're
No,
long
it
gone.
may just be it may have been just an East Coast thing too. Who knows?
It could have been. But yeah, Hojo's is long gone, and they used to be fire food, and especially that
Dude, there's only
breakfast
one
menu.
spot I go to for breakfast, bro, and it's here locally, and I've been going there since I was a child. We actually went there like 2 weeks ago. Still good. It's called TNT's Cafe, bro. A little small mom and pop cafe that's just like in the like a little nook off of one of the main roads here in or not here in Apple Valley, but out in Victorville. And dude, they have the best fucking breakfast, fucking real nice fucking wait staff. You know what I mean? That's barely starting to change. You know what I mean? It's always been like the same staff there since I was a kid, dude. So like they know my parents. You know what I mean? They've seen us kind of grow up. So it's just like you go in there, you feel like you're home. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like real family style. You know what I mean? But over the years, a lot of the waitresses have kind of cycled out. You know what I mean? Because who knows why, but there's still a couple there. But
So Howard Johnson's, basically like what all the old Howard Johnsons, if they're still around, are now Wyndham's. The
Yeah,
Wyndham
which-
Hotel since 2006. Says all hotels and company trademarks have been owned by Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. And it says that the restaurants, the final one closed in Lake George, New York in 2022.
damn.
So they still had one open that far.
Yeah, but that was just the restaurants because it says in 1966. Oh no, my bad. 1986 they started separating the restaurants from the hotels.
Yeah, because I used to have a standalone restaurant with the hotel on the same property, but like set back. And
Dude, you know where it was founded? The restaurants?
was it a Massachusetts restaurant?
Dude, fucking and Quincy Kid.
Fucking Quincy, dude. Oh shit, kid. Can we get a fucking Newport and we'll head on down to the Red Line, kid.
Yeah, so it was in Quincy, and the hotel, the Motor Lodges, was Savannah, Georgia in 1954.
Wild.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, when I saw
Wild.
this sign, I was like, yo, I remember these. I bet you I stayed at one of these in my life.
Well, I know this. We are getting to the end, and this breakfast talk is perfect because I'm gonna make homemade breakfast crunch wraps. So let's go.
Oh, dude, I already had
Do it,
dinner.
bro.
I had fucking like a full roast beef dinner, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a dessert out there that I'll probably dig into a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Something though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Something. That's what's
This-
gonna get down.
That's a surefire thing around here. You know what I mean? Hungry, happy, sleepy.
That's it. I've been a lot of hungry and sleepy lately. I've been pretty happy too. Not gonna lie, but hungry and sleepy have been the main two, bro. I've been sleeping a lot, boys. It's been kind of nice.
Yeah, I slept in like a motherfucker today. Felt
Same.
great.
I woke up right before podcast. But
Even today?
Yeah. Well, I woke up. I didn't go to sleep till like 1. So
Oh, okay.
little 12-hour. No, actually, I woke up a couple times and just like laid there and just didn't want to get up.
What happens when you
I
have
was
a
gonna say,
comfortable bed?
dang, dude.
Well, friends, I think it's time for us to wrap it on up. So we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and for joining us here. Shout out to the Patreon members. We really do appreciate you. You guys are truly MVPs. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off by sending it over to Uncle Chris to send us on out.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Appreciate you guys. Of course, go to shedtimepodcast.com, check it out. Go to our Patreon, check that out. Sure, that'd be awesome. If you guys do have a Discord, and you even know what Discord is, our patrons do have a Discord, which Sean is definitely the most active in. I've been trying to make a conscious effort to be more active in there, so you can check that out. Also, if you are a Patreon and you're like into connecting and talking about like whatever you got going on, whatever kind of like stash you're working from, all that kind of stuff. Other than that, I'll say, check out Friday nights, Frames Janko Vapors YouTube channel, for the green room. Just come by, kick it, give it a try if you've never been by. And I think that's everything for me. So everybody be safe, have a good week, and remember, live your best life. And Prince.
As always, shout outs to all the Shedheads for all of your continuous support. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are leaving 5-star reviews on all the podcasting platforms. Share it to all your friends. Check out the YouTube channel if you want to catch up on some past video episodes and stuff like that. But if you want to keep more up to date, like Chris said, check out the Patreon because that's where you get the early access to all the episodes, as well as some other exclusive content like the Discord and the such as. Of course, you can check us out on Friday, like he also said, on the green room for some more vape oriented content and that sort of thing. Other than that, we'll be here in the shed doing what we always do. So I'm gonna end it as I always do, sending out positive vibes, crisp high fives. Don't forget to tell somebody you love them and a little bag or dabble, do ya, Sean?
100%. These boys summarized it perfectly. You guys know what to do. Shedtimepodcast.com. There's links for everything. You can find the Frames Janklin Vapor channel. You can find the Patreon. You can stream the show. You can find links to past guests and so much more. So with all of that, I'll bring it to a close and tell you, don't let the best get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure and have some fun because it's the Shed Time Podcast. It's time to roll on up and roll. Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
It's crazy, dude, because it's almost like we have that ending scripted. You know what I mean? But it's always just off the fly.